Set during Christmas, the movie begins with a series of memories of a little girl named Lucy, who used to travel around the country with her loving father and listen to incredible stories about her late mother. Despite his loss, her father is still in love with her mother, showing Lucy a golden globe that her mother gave him. According to him, his wife gave him the whole world. Well, that is not exactly the case for Lucy now. As an adult, she works as a ticket collector at a subway station in Chicago. The only thing that distracts her from her solitary, monotonous routine is the appearance of a handsome lawyer with whom she is hopelessly in love, even though he has never stopped to notice her. Lucy dreams that one day he will give her the world. Because she works every day, including holidays, her boss, Jerry, names her Employee of the Month, though it is just an excuse to make her work at Christmas. Even though she hates the idea, Lucy is forced to accept, since she is the only employee who will be spending the holiday without her family. Back at work, her Prince Charming greets her for the first time, wishing her a Merry Christmas. Lucy has been waiting for that moment for a long time, though she is so stunned that she does not answer him. While the man waits for the train, a group of thieves tries to rob him and ends up pushing him onto the tracks, where he hits his head and loses consciousness. Lucy immediately jumps to his rescue, rolling him out of the way just in time to save them both from an oncoming train. Afterward, Lucy takes him to the hospital to have his injuries treated. Unfortunately, she cannot stay by his side because she is not a family member, nor does she even know his name. Lucy overhears the doctor saying, in passing, that she was going to marry him. On hearing that, a nurse misunderstands the situation and believes that Lucy is his fiancée. She leads Lucy to his room. The Callahans, the injured man's family, soon arrive, revealing that his name is Peter and asking what happened. Although Lucy explains everything, they have no idea who she is until the nurse points out that Lucy is Peter's fiancée, which surprises them. Lucy cannot bring herself to set them straight because they are excited about the news, especially since she saved his life, and they all hug her. As the protagonist spends more time with them, telling them the truth becomes increasingly difficult, particularly because of Grandma Els, who has had 3 heart attacks. Later, Lucy visits the still comatose Peter to officially introduce herself and apologize for the misunderstanding. She never intended to create this confusion. It is just that when she was a child, she imagined herself in love at this age, and a part of her felt excited about the fake engagement. While she speaks, Lucy does not realize that Saul, Peter's godfather, has been listening from outside. At dawn, Lucy wakes up in the hospital and hurries to work, but she runs into Peter's family as she leaves. Peter's father, Ox, tells her that they could not celebrate Christmas because of what happened, and now they want to celebrate with her. Although Lucy knows continuing the lie is not right, she accepts the Callahans' invitation. Upon arriving at their house, she is greeted by Saul, who tells her that he was welcomed with love by this family and will not allow anyone to hurt them. Seeing Lucy repeat this with the same conviction, Saul believes in her intentions. During the family's Christmas celebration, Lucy becomes enchanted with the Callahans, who provide her with the familial love she has not found elsewhere. Later on, Peter's younger brother Jack shows up and is surprised to see Lucy sleeping on the couch. His sister then mentions that Lucy is Peter's fiancée, which Jack finds very suspicious. At sunrise, Lucy hurries out so no one will notice, but Jack intercepts her at the door, welcoming her to the family. Back at her apartment, Lucy inspects Peter's belongings from the hospital. She finds a can of cat food, so she heads to Peter's home to feed his cat. On leaving her building, she quickens her pace so she will not be spotted by Joe, the immature son of her landlord, who is in love with her. Shortly afterward, Jack shows up at the building, asking about Lucy. Joe confidently replies that he is dating her. Once at Peter's upscale apartment, Lucy searches for his cat, only to be surprised by Jack's unexpected arrival. He says his brother does not have a cat, which suggests Jack does not know him very well either. Right at that moment, the pet appears, and Lucy picks it up as if it had known her forever. Later, while donating blood at the hospital, Jack questions Lucy about her engagement. In Peter's hospital room, Jack confronts her in front of the family, accusing her of having a relationship with Joe. To prove him wrong, Lucy reveals that Peter has only one testicle, something a colleague of his mentioned in the hospital. Peter's mother, Midge, lifts the bedsheet to check if it is true. Back at home, Lucy receives a visit from Saul, who reveals that he knows the truth. However, he asks her to keep it secret, since her fake engagement with Peter has brought the Callahans closer than ever. Later, Jack gives her some furniture from the family business as a gift to celebrate the engagement. Lucy suggests he should start his own business, but Jack explains that his father runs everything and was also the main reason Peter distanced himself from the family. After dropping the furniture off at his brother's apartment and getting his truck blocked in by other cars, Jack decides to walk Lucy home. Along the way, they not only get to know each other better, but also discover that they have much in common. Just yards from Lucy's apartment, they nearly slip on the icy ground but catch each other, ending up face to face. They both ignore the moment and continue, only to fall in the silliest way possible. At her apartment, Lucy watches Jack leave with starry eyes, though she soon realizes that this might become a problem. As for Jack, he pretends to play poker with his brother in a coma, confessing that he was never jealous of him until he got engaged to Lucy. After another dinner at the Callahan house, Lucy and Jack are the first to leave, walking under mistletoe. According to tradition, those standing under mistletoe must kiss, so they share a quick kiss. The family takes it as a friendly gesture, but both of them feel something more. The next day, while Lucy is working at her subway booth, Mary, Peter's younger sister, mentions Lucy's engagement to Lucy's co-worker, Celeste. Nervously, Lucy claims that they have not announced it publicly yet, because they are expecting a baby. When Mary gets home, she immediately shares this news with her family. Jack goes straight to Lucy's apartment to clarify. Since Lucy is about to leave for a New Year's party, Jack offers to accompany her. When Celeste and her friends see Jack, they mistake him for Peter, Lucy's fiancé. To divert the attention from this scandalous misunderstanding, Lucy begins drinking, but Jack scolds her because it could hurt the baby. Hearing this, everyone is shocked. Lucy runs off, embarrassed. Jack is confused to learn the truth, so Lucy deduces that he believed the only way Peter would marry someone of her status would be if she were pregnant. Before she can get angrier, Jack says that all he wants is for her to be happy. But Lucy points out that he is not the best example, since he has wanted to leave the family business for a long time, but lacks the courage to talk to his father. He in turn notes that Lucy's late father would not be proud of her planning a trip she will not actually be able to take because of her engagement. At dawn, while the city is still celebrating the new year, Peter finally wakes from his coma. His family greets him enthusiastically, but when he looks at Lucy, he does not recognize her at all. It seems like Lucy is finished, but Ox declares that Peter has amnesia. Consequently, his family tries to convince him that Lucy is his fiancée, while she begs Saul to help her explain the truth. After taking Lucy home, Jack apologizes for what he said the other day, admitting that Lucy and his brother will make an extraordinary couple. Lucy thanks him for being there for her all those days, saying that he has become a great friend. Encouraged by Lucy's example, Jack finally tells his father that he wants to start his own business. To his surprise, Ox is not upset at all. Rather, he regrets not hearing this sooner and wishes him luck in the future. Meanwhile, Saul attempts to tell Peter the truth about Lucy, but changes his mind. Instead, he explains that Lucy is not just Peter's fiancée, but also his guardian angel for having saved him at the station. So Saul tells him to listen to her carefully for a few minutes, and if he does not fall in love with her, to call off the engagement. When Lucy visits, Peter invites her to chat and puts Saul's theory to the test. At the same time, a haughty woman named Ashley arrives at Peter's building, announcing at reception that she is Peter's fiancée. She complains that he has not answered her calls for some time and has said nothing about his cat. After talking to Lucy, Peter realizes he might like her, even though he barely knows her, unlike his brother, who has learned all of Lucy's special qualities. Saul confesses to Lucy that he still has not told Peter the truth, prompting her to return to the hospital to do so herself. She ends up taking the same elevator as Ashley, who gets to Peter first since Lucy did not know he had been moved to another room. Furious, Ashley confronts Peter about the rumor that he is engaged to someone else. Peter calmly reminds her that she was the one who rejected him initially, and now he is with a wonderful woman. When Lucy seems ready to reveal everything, Peter jumps in first and confesses that his near-death experience made him rethink many things, especially his taste in women. Summoning his courage, he proposes to her, exactly what she had always dreamed of before. Later, Jack visits her one final time to present her with a Florence snow globe, referencing Lucy's dream trip, a last gift before she officially becomes his sister-in-law. She then asks him if he can give her any reason not to marry Peter. Out of loyalty to his brother, he honestly says he cannot. Finally, the long-awaited wedding day arrives. As soon as Lucy steps to the altar, she announces that she objects. Jack also objects. Right then, Lucy confesses to Ox and Midge that she is in love with their son, but not the son they believe. After explaining the truth about the fake engagement, she admits that she was unable to tell them sooner because she had genuinely fallen in love with the Callahans. She went from being a lonely woman to a fiancée, daughter, granddaughter, sister, and friend. She went from having nothing to having a family, and she did not want to lose that. Though her words moved the Callahans, Lucy heads for the exit. At that moment, Ashley appears to object to the wedding, but she never expected her husband to show up too. Indeed, Peter had proposed to a married woman, causing a huge commotion. Returning to her old life, Lucy is met by Joe, who is sorry her engagement did not work out, but tells her she deserves someone better. The next day, while working at her ticket booth, someone tosses in a wedding ring. It is Jack and the entire family, ready to welcome her once again. Lucy gladly accepts, kissing Jack and marrying him. For their honeymoon, they set off for Florence. So in a sense, Jack really does give her the whole world.
If you want interesting movie recaps, like, share, and subscribe to follow us for more movie recaps.